Hello, good day. How are you today? You're good, right? Okay. Are you ready for today's lesson? You are? That is good. So, today in food and nutrition, we are going to be looking at cooking methods. Okay? Our topic for today in food and nutrition is on cooking methods. Okay, so are you ready for the lesson? You are, right? Good. So first we're going to be looking at the meaning of cooking methods. Cooking methods refer to the specific techniques and processes used to prepare food. These methods involve various applications of heat, liquids, or other elements to transform raw ingredients into finished dishes. Common cooking methods include boiling, steaming, baking, frying, and more, each contributing different flavors, textures, and characteristics to the food being prepared. Okay? Do we understand that? Cooking methods are the different ways we cook food. It's like following specific steps to make things taste good. Okay? And these methods include boiling, baking, frying, grilling. Okay? So knowing these methods help you create yummy dishes. Do you understand? Good. So next we're going to be looking at the classification of cooking methods, okay? We have the moist heat and the dry heat. So first we're going to be looking at the moist heat. Moist heat cooking involves using water or steam to cook food. This method helps retain moisture in the food and is suitable for items that benefit from gentle cooking. Common moist heat cooking techniques include boiling, steaming, and simmering. Boiling, cooking food in hot water. Steaming, cooking food with steam. And simmering, cooking at a temperature just below boiling. Okay? So moist heat cooking involves using water or steam to cook food. Do you understand? And this involves boiling, steaming, and simmering. These methods keep food moist and are good for things like vegetables, rice. Okay? Moist heat cooking is a key skill to make sure your food is cooked just right. Do you understand? It's like a cool way to make sure your food turns out tasty. Okay? Good. So we're going to be looking at the next classification, dry heat. Dry heat cooking involves methods that use hot air or direct heat to cook food. This method is suitable for creating crispy textures and enhancing flavors through browning. Common dry heat cooking techniques include baking, roasting, and grilling. Baking, cooking in an oven using dry heat. Roasting, cooking by surrounding the food with dry heat in an oven. And grilling, cooking over an open flame or heat source. Okay? So the dry heat cooking is about using hot air or direct heat without water. This involves baking, roasting, and grilling. This method gives a crispy texture and is awesome for meats, vegetables, and more. It's like giving our food a crazy hug of heat to make it delicious, okay? Good. So we have looked at two classifications of cooking methods. We looked at the moist heat. It involves boiling, cooking food in hot water, steaming, cooking food with steam, and simmering, cooking at the temperature just below boiling. Then we looked at dry heat cooking. This involves baking, cooking in an oven using dry heat, roasting, cooking by surrounding the food with dry heat in an oven, grilling, cooking over an open flame or heat source, right? Good. So next we're going to be looking at the different preparation techniques of cooking, okay? We have marinating as one of the techniques, okay? Marinating is a cooking technique where food, usually meat or vegetables, is soaked in a liquid mixture called a marinade. The purpose of marinating is to enhance flavor, tenderize tough cuts of meat, and sometimes add moisture to the food. Okay, so we're going to be looking at key points about marinating. Ingredients. A marinade typically consists of acidic components, oils, herbs, spices, and sometimes sweeteners. Duration. The food is left in the marinade for a specified period, allowing the flavors to penetrate and often tenderizing the surface. Methods. Marinating can be done in a bowl, bag, or a sealed container, depending on personal preference and the type of food being marinated. Do we understand marinating? Marinating is your food's flavor makeover, okay? You create a special sauce with things like oil, herbs, spices. Then you let your food soak up this deliciousness. This makes your dish more flavorful and sometimes even juicier. Okay? So marinating is like giving your food a tasty soak. Do we understand? Good. The next technique we're going to be looking at, kneading. Kneading is a cooking and baking technique that involves working and pressing dough with hands or a utensil. The primary purpose of kneading is to develop gluten, a protein in wheat flour, which gives elasticity and structure to the dough. This process is common in making bread, pizza, dough, and other yeast-leavened baked goods. Okay, so we're going to be looking at the key points about kneading. The purpose develops gluten, which contributes to the texture and structure of baked goods. Technique involve folding, pressing, and turning the dough repeatedly to create a smooth and elastic consistency. Then the duration. The duration of kneading depends on the recipe and the type of dough being prepared. Do we understand kneading? Kneading is like a dough massage, okay? You take your dough and give it a gentle squeeze and fold. You press, fold, squish to make it stretchy. This isn't just for fun, okay? It's a workout that makes the dough stretchy and elastic. Do you understand? It's like a yoga for bread or pizza. Kneading is the secret to getting that perfect bouncy texture. So you're not just making dough, you are giving it a little spa treatment before it becomes something delicious. Okay? Before it gets into the oven. Do you understand? Okay, good. So another technique we're going to be looking at, Blending. Blending in cooking refers to the process of mixing ingredients together to create a uniform and smooth texture. This can be achieved using various kitchen tools such as blenders, food processors. Okay, so we're going to be looking at the key points about blending. Purpose: to combine ingredients thoroughly, creating a homogeneous mixture. Tools: blenders, food processors, immersion blenders, or manual methods like stirring or whisking can be used for blending. Applications: commonly used for making smoothies, soups, sauces, dressings, and various beverages. Do we understand blending? Blending is like creating kitchen harmony, okay? You take different ingredients, put them together, and blend until they become smooth. Do you understand? It's not just for smoothies. It's like turning vegetables into slicky soups also. Do you understand? So blending is like making food smoothies, but for everything. You mix things together until they are super smooth and happy. It can be fruits for smoothie, or vegetables for soup, or ingredients for a sauce, okay? Do you understand that? So the next technique we are going to be looking at, creaming. Creaming is a culinary technique used in baking, particularly in the preparation of cakes, cookies, and certain desserts. It involves beating together fat and sugar to incorporate air into the mixture. The process results in a light and fluffy texture, contributing to the tenderness and leavening of baked goods. Let's look at the key points about creaming. Ingredients: typically involves beating together softened butter and sugar, creating a creamy and light mixture. Purpose: incorporating air into the mixture, which helps leaven the baked goods and contributes to the desired texture. Technique: involves beating the fat and sugar together until the mixture becomes pale and increases the volume. Do you understand? Creaming is like making your ingredients dance together. You take softened butter and sugar and mix them until they are all fluffy, okay? Do you understand? It's about creating a magical mix that makes your cookies, cakes. So creaming is like the secret handshake for baking success. Do we understand that? Good. So today's lesson on cooking methods, we understood everything, right? We did. We looked at the meaning of cooking methods. We looked at two classifications of cooking methods. We mentioned the moist heat and dry heat, right? Then we looked at techniques for cooking. We mentioned marinating, kneading, blending, and creaming, right? So we understood everything on today's lesson. Okay, that is good. So next we are going to be looking at our assignment. I'm sure we are going to be able to do our assignment, right? It's easy. Okay, good.